Hello, my wonderful viewers, and welcome to another episode of Betty Adams Overanalyzes. Today, we are going to take a look at Kaiju number 8, at life, at Star Trek. We're just going to take a look about something very mature, and I wouldn't call it non-shonen, because this concept has shown up in shonen manga before, but it's something that's more mature than you see in most shonen manga, and I think it really illustrates how Matsumoto has kind of elevated Kaiju number 8 above the common herd of manga and it boils down to the realism and how much Matsumoto stays true to real life without getting bogged down in depressing grimness. So what am I talking about here? Well, there's a famous quote from Star Trek The Next Generation. It's the one where Captain Picard is talking to some underling or another after a major conflict has just happened. And Captain Picard says in that gentle, slightly pseudo-European accent of his, "It is possible to commit no mistakes and still lose. That is not weakness, that is life." This quote really seemed to resonate with people, and it carved out its own little niche on the internet of memes and images with text over them. Because so much of life, we're trained that you fail because you make mistakes. And we're trained that way because it's true. Most of the habits, most of the things that people attempt in life, they attempt because there is a reasonable expectation that they can succeed. And for many of these structures and patterns that are set up in any given culture at any given time, there is a known amount of effort that it takes for the average human to succeed in that. So for a large part of human existence, it is true that if you choose a goal, you've chosen a goal that you assume that you can succeed in. And if you apply a certain standard amount of effort, you can succeed. Getting a job, finding a mate, having a family. And for a given definition of success, if you follow the rules, if you don't make mistakes, you will succeed. And if you fail, it can usually be traced back to one of several common mistakes. You didn't study hard enough. You didn't prepare. And there are, of course, situations recognized, storms, volcano eruptions that can throw this off, but in the regular run of things, most human civilizations are set up so that if you follow the rules and don't make mistakes, you will achieve a reasonable goal. That's kind of the point of human civilization. And for those of us who are embedded in these civilizations, especially the longer-term stable ones, it's easy to forget that, no, you can do everything right. You can follow every rule and still fail because there are elements that you couldn't have possibly considered. The world is stacked against you sometimes. And that's why I think this statement this statement from a science fiction movie written and produced over 50 years ago still resonates so hard with so many people. It's one of those things. If you eat healthy, you'll be healthy until you suffer that random genetic mutation and get cancer anyway. If you drive carefully, driving will be safe until someone comes out of the blue and hits you. There are certain common truths that a mature person understands are true with caveats. X and Y together will equal Z, but you can't always control all the inputs. Sometimes there's an A or a B thrown in there. And one of the things in shonen one of the tropes in shonen is that if the main character follows the rules and trains hard, they get the desired outcome. They win the fight. As long as they're true of heart and firm of will and practice hard, they'll be able to reach their goals. And here in Kakoru, we have the perfect shonen protagonist. She works hard. She has an iron will. Her heart is in it 100%. By shonen rules, by the base rule, if you try hard and you're true of heart, you're going to win. And she doesn't. She goes up against Kaiju number 15 after training her body to every day of her life, essentially from childhood. She has poured all the requisite blood, sweat, and tears of any shonen protagonist. She has the necessary natural talent, and she had dedicated herself and her iron will to this. But she still failed. Kakoru did everything right, everything that was in her power to do to prepare for that fight, and she still failed miserably. Now, this is still a shonen manga. Someone is going to swoop in and save her. I would be genuinely surprised if Matsumoto let her die or be absorbed in this arc. But he has let her fail completely, despite the fact that she poured her heart and sweat and blood into this. And she is not failing because the MC was just stronger than her and more important than her, and we love the MC more. No, she failed against the enemy and against a foot soldier of the enemy, because despite doing everything right, sometimes you can make no mistakes and still fail. And I think that's just very, very poignant and real. And it's one of the things that really elevates Kaiju number 8. The art is great, but it's not the art. And the overall story arc is good, but it's just a common shonen story arc. But Matsumoto lets reality in. He lets reality in, but he doesn't let it make itself depressing. Yes, Kakoru is going to fail. Kakoru has failed on multiple levels. She failed the moment she let her companions die. She failed again when she failed to physically defeat Kaiju number 15. But Matsumoto has not let that sink the story into depression and angst like, say, The Promised Neverland or De Grey Man did. Matsumoto, this is still an uplifting, heart-pounding Shonen Jump manga. And I just think that took incredible skill, and I really appreciated it and wanted to highlight that in this video. And just remember, folks, yes, it's important to try your best and pour in all that shonen blood, sweat, and tears. It's important to be Goku and work yourself up to a higher place, but just remember, sometimes you are Goku. You do train every single day of your life. You strive for that goal. Your heart is pure. Your will is strong. And sometimes you still fail. So, that's life. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, choose another goal, and continue. Stay strong, my wonderful viewers. Hit that like and subscribe button. Go check out the links below my video to get a copy of my book, Humans Are Weird. Let's work it out. And peace out.